Yeah.
Yeah, this thing is so annoying. It's bugging, bro. The echo is. We can't mute it, because if we mute this, basically we can't use. So it's either we go live on here only. It gets calmed up, but then you do it. I'm sure. Ah, let's see. Yeah, but yeah, man. Let's get back in the market. Let's see what's going on this week. I think we remember what we have to do, anyways. Just another week. Um, let's see if there's gonna be any news this week. So we have Monday, nothing major, so we good for Monday. Tuesday, we don't trade this pair anyway. But yeah, I think one has to go. Color need to be sure. Yeah, I hope it's big. Yeah, man. But Tuesday we do have a news on Euro USD pair. Hmm? No, it's not. Fucking hell. But anyway, that's the chat for you. So we're checking this week if there's going to be any news for the week. So Monday, there's no news in the week, June 16th. So from the 16th, we don't have any news on Monday. But Tuesday we have one on the dollar. Yeah, but that again, that's at 1:30, so before our trading time anyway. So maybe we come after the news. We already see the news happen. So that's cool. We're not caring about this because we're not gonna trade at this time. And GBP, there is news again. We don't trade any GBP pair. So this news it might affect the euro sometimes though. But again, the time is 7 in the morning. We don't trade. And then we also have another news on the dollar on Wednesday. Um, so that is unemployment claim again 1:30. By the time our trading time came, so the news already happened. So we could. And there is one on the card as well at 4 p.m. So sometimes when there is news on the card, well, if you're trading USD card, then yeah, but we're trading Euro USD, so this shouldn't be that much. But there is FOMC on Wednesday, 7 p.m. These are high impact news, bro. Whenever they happen around that time every year. Yeah. So it's like at that time 7. Okay. You see, it's good that we check the news because this news we're gonna have to keep this in our mind now. But again, by before the trade, the news time, we should be already in that trade anyways, or our trade hit our take profit. You know what I mean? But we can expect this news is coming. Yeah. So that's good. On the dollar 7 p.m. And then Thursday, there's some news on CHF, but we don't trade that. Yeah. And there's some news on GBP at 12 p.m. on Thursday. We don't trade that pair, so that should be fine. And Friday, nothing really major on the pair is trading, so we just gotta be stay more cautious for Wednesday and Tuesday on because we trade in USD. So yeah, I'm gonna have to leave that other one, man. It's taking piss. So we're just gonna stay on live here. Um, so yeah, man, the news is calm. So by far now, I think we should be calm with the news, I can't lie. So yeah, cool. Might need something, but yeah, yeah. So we know for Monday for sure we are good. There is not too much news, so that is okay. Tuesday there is one. Wednesday, very careful. So now we actually know which news are gonna be high impact. We can highlight them on the calendar as well. So that is that. So with that being said, I think a journal error USD for last week. The trade here, and I need to journal US30 as well. I just need a screenshot. These are the first two trades we take on US30, and I need this trade. Which ones? Mm, so I need this and this other one. So we're gonna go back in here and just paste it. Mm, plus 2.35. Right, plus. Mm? You know, this is actually it, bro.
Yeah, man. We're seeing the market like this going forward.
Yeah.
We're gonna have bare ideas,
Bad
bro.
ideas, and that's why journaling is so sick, bro. Cause
Yeah,
you actually seeing the progress and how you actually taking those straight. Imagine, bro, it's right in front of you. It only gets better, man. Journaling is sick. I'm just gonna copy this as well. I'm going today.
I like the way you, bro, you mark them, bro.
Mm, Sick. If you and bro just locked in together and try to work on that one business idea, tell me how is it not gonna work out?
Yeah,
Bro, the plan is there.
it's there.
The mindset is there toward the amount of money you need.
You
You know how you can get the money, and you have something that you know you can apply your skill on to get the money from.
yeah,
All you gotta to be doing is to stay disciplined with yourself. Not just you, but with another brain. You all coming together because you're all doing the same shit.
same shit,
You sit down and trying to do
bro.
that right. How is it not gonna work out? That's why they say you need a right cycle. When you need a right cycle, is that the people that are actually trying to do the
The
same thing
same
you do.
thing,
Bro, looking at this, you see, you can see. I didn't put the time here, but you can see like these are basically the same trades on the same time. See, like it's just the same reasoning that we're looking for, bro.
facts.
So with that, I might be making more clean. So what I'm gonna do, because we take that trade 2 p.m. after 2 p.m. So I'm just gonna put,
If they
yeah,
wanna
no,
see
2 p.m.
more
is there.
blow,
Just need to be black so we can just have everything in there. We take that trade a little bit after 2 p.m. But what were you saying?
yeah, like if they wanna see like more things like this, like
Yeah.
more proof of like what we doing, we go mark of all this. We go like
Mm-hmm.
we calculate every trade we
We
taking.
were
Like
taking, yeah,
if they wanna take the like the same low side, like you just can take so we just like calculate
yeah.
with them. So
Cool,
we just
man.
keep
But
reach out to
basically,
each other.
whatever video that you think we should do next when it comes to trading, risk management, or certain things to look in the chat, just comment it down there, know what I'm saying? So we can that with that we copy this. We have now paste that there, did you? What's going on? Am I bugging? Yeah, anyways, it's there. That is the time, 2 p.m. Took that trade, but yeah. So that is the US30 um last week journal. So that is completed now. So we're gonna start our weekly analysis from USD and then check US30, and we also see what the dollar is gonna potentially do for the week. But like, does the charts don't look more clean in
They look
front of you?
more clean,
I
bro.
promise you they do.
It's like
Yeah, man. They actually looks sick. These are the only two trade with Ukraine and USD last week. This take us out for -1 hour, and this trade we managed to close at 1.19 hours. So overall, it was a good trade. We just didn't want to hold any trade for the weekend. You see, that is why I was saying, oh, it could just gap down.
yeah,
You know what I
facts.
mean? So let me just go on my higher time frame chart, change this to the dark color. So we have, yeah, my mouse is bugging. So it's actually bugging. It's the battery. Where's my batteries? Yeah, there should be. My drawer is crazy. They're there for here somewhere though. Solution. That's why sometimes
My bad, bro.
I know I got one. Bro, I don't go there. Fucking hell, Sainsbury scam me, fam. Yo, not battery ngudu, bro. The price was fucking crazy. I'm like, what? Nigga.
Why is this not allowed?
I swear to God.
Okay, stop.
Aha. Duro kenda toko ben. No, saying
Why they look too small?
it's them. I remember them. I remember them focus. Wakuna later on. I remember I said another lenda muro hadi use no. So when I run out one day, I'll need them. Why you still flashing? You got new shit inside you. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back on the chart. We starting with Euro USD. This yellow line there, we don't need anymore. This was the move we was anticipating from this previous week that we need to take out this high. That is like Euro USD is actually moving solid, and the crazy thing is that think it like this, because now we know there is going to be so much fucking war happening. Whenever there is a war,
Yeah,
it affects the market so much.
affected we
So
but
if the
oh
dollar is gonna get affected by this, it needs to drop, or whatever is gonna happen, vice versa in it. But just know that when there is wars, the market is volatile as crazy, bro. Gold will
yeah
be moving like mad because people will be trying to put their money into something safer because gold is more safe than actually the dollar in it. So a lot of people will be investing in gold at that
God
time. So let's say if the oil, oil prices might be dropping wherever, because if they're starting to attack each other's thing, it's so much going on, you know what I mean? But so we with that in mind, you just need to be in the right direction in the market and try to avoid the news. And if you are following market structure correctly and the dollar starting to be weakened, you're having some nice trade flow and the structure is really aligned on Euro USD. You can catch a nice opportunity around this time. So that is why we need to stay focused
for real
and just wait. Trust me, this time is actually sick.
yes bro
Yeah.
for real
So with that, we still using in these monthly levels. Price is now fully above it. So we're currently reacting from the 200 EMA. So if there is some reason the Euro USD might start to, you know, get weaker from here and start to drop, because whenever price is retesting the EMA, that's why we're expecting it, but it can then close above it as well. It depends on the market volume, but for that we're gonna keep that in mind and just know that monthly we kinda reacting from the EMA just to have that back in our mind. But overall, we're just going with the flow. When we're above this, we're expecting more bullish on the pair. So with that, we check in the weekly. We can see last week we close above it as well. So this is the first week that's starting to close above that area. So that is indicating some bullishness as well. And so that is on the weekly time frame. We can say that last week was bullish. Price is now currently we want at least a candle to close above here, the previous week high. We kind of starting to see a break of structure on the lower time frame, but we want a weekly time frame to actually close above this area. So we can then start to say, okay, we can then pull back. But yeah, overall, we did take out the high, but we want another close above here. So we can expect more bullish on this pair. We are above here, that's okay. So we check on the daily. That is where it gets interesting. Euro USD, this line was from last week. We was anticipating price to go here. So that is why I kept this line here. But for now, we don't need it anymore because we already got that move happen. But again, we're gonna now start to pay attention with the structure. Overall, this is the structure that we're in from this area. From this area here, after we take out this, I am not counting this as structure, but now this was the structure we in, but now we can actually start into say, oh yes, this finally taking out the high. So we're in this structure, this leg here. But if we starting to look at internal structure, obviously we have something here, lower lows. This was the lower high when price make this, but you can take this as higher high. This will be higher lows. We're creating a new higher high now. So what we then was expecting by end of last week is something that areas did now breaking above this psychological level, and obviously price is breaking structure. We might expect some pullback. That is why price is spiking up from this psychological level now. So with that, we're expecting Euro USD to actually pump onto this area 1.17500, because that is another psychological level we have before we can run into 1.2 20,000. So yeah, I think the structure is really clean on AUSD. This is looking good on the daily for me, I can't lie. Because we have all the confirmation that market is bullish from this candle, these are retests. So we can expect another nice buy on AUSD. And price is above this level. It's above psychological level. That is two confluence there on its own. Structure added, three confluence, price is bullish. So there is no reason we should be anyhow attached to look for a sell in this market. It don't matter. Price can pull back because if we're in this as a structure now on the daily, if we're in this is the current higher high from here. So that is why we're starting to see a pullback. This pullback can either hold here because it's above the high anyways and start to buy from there. But that is the structure. Yeah. So for that, I'm gonna check on the 4 hour time frame. That's good. You can see 4 hour this reaction is happening here. This here happened based on here. That is why we're starting to see spikes from here, spikes from here. But on the 4 hour structure still they stay the same. Special that last week we're starting to see some nice formation like this around this area. And structure was obviously bullish because we're starting to see structure changing back above here. We're creating this new higher high. This is clearly swing formation. This here, so price can always try to go higher from here. So we need to catch a nice entry around here, and it's Monday again. With all those information we have in our head now, and the dollar is weaker from last week on the CPI news. So we can expect some nice push on AUSD.
This is crazy.
This
This
is
is
great.
playing in my head is crazy, you know.
Yeah, man. The charts are actually like it's getting clean, bro.
Bro,
It's
you know,
getting
these key
simple.
areas you are pointing, bro, it's like I start seeing them like easier, bro.
Yeah.
Like, because when the nice big candle happen like this, like big pull,
Mm-hmm.
like he break that thing, you can see, bro, the clear ones.
You can see them, bro. It's literally
Bro,
structure there.
look, when they do aggressive, he try not going pull back and go.
Go again. It's
Bro,
just the key structures.
this is
Once you find the swing structures on a right time, you already know that structure. You just need to know when the move is going to happen. And this gives you the clear indication that is when the move might start. So with proper risk management, you can just try to go with the market because obviously you don't just want to be analyzing the market, seeing these opportunities. Some points you need to be in those
you need to,
opportunities.
bro. That's
You
why
know what I
now
mean?
we are in,
Yeah,
bro. We are fully, bro.
we're fully in, bro. We're actually fully in. Just from foreign price to here is like about 100 pips, 107 pips. But yeah, that is literally how you start to see the market clean, bro. I swear to God. I feel like it's only getting better lately, bro.
Bro, I feel like this is the type of video, bro.
Hmm.
You can watch it and watch it again, and like it's like he reminding you what you need to be seen, bro.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this is sick.
Again, I just like to play with structures, man. I just like to play with them, I swear to God. I just like to play them. The more I play with it, the clearer they start to become. So now I feel like we was in this structure because that is when we have this rally here. Obviously, we do expect price can come all the way to the extreme, but you need to be think logically. If price is above a psychological level, and this zone that we put, the way we put this, that is another technique. This is really sick. But price retesting back down here, obviously, like you can expect when price is making higher highs, you do expect a pullback.
Pull back.
But this pullback that we're expecting, we're not 100% sure if it's gonna come all the way here.
Yeah, that's
Price
what
just
we
pull back to like areas that are key areas that it can react to make a significant high and then continue from there. So obviously if we're making higher lows, higher high, there is very higher chance price can make a higher low above this area instead of coming all the way back down here. That is how you see it. So yeah. So LUSD 4 hour time frame again we know is bullish, weekly bullish, monthly react inside an area, but again the flow with structure is bullish on all these three time frames so far. So 1 hour again same similar thing. We just pay attention with structure and know where we are. These are all higher lows because they're all just one loss until we take out this high here. We can then take this as higher low and take this, sorry, higher high and take this as higher low. This will be our current higher high. When this pull back here, did it break any structure?
No.
It didn't. And price continues. So as long as price is within this and this, these break of structures are not change of characters
They're not
because
changing.
it's inside structure basically. It's just counter trending back to the main structure. When we get to the main structure, we can now see price starting to push aggressively. Even here is kind of breaking this on the lower time frame. That is why we have this. That is why it's the market we're
Bro,
making it. It's making sense. I'm telling you
this
this.
is like you make it easier,
To
bro.
make it so easy, bro. So that is why we're having this pullback here. So this pullback is what is our interest. This pullback that happened here. This is what is our interest because we already know what's going on. We already know where price has come back to. So with that being said, we can now start into see. Obviously, this lower time frame was bearish, but at time by that weekend, areas they tried to push higher and even take out this higher, creating new higher highs. So you can start to see them slowly and they clean. But these are your reference to trade. You don't have to trade if these are not there, I promise you. Like so we can just starting to read this as higher high, higher low. So as long as price is above this area or all the way to here, you can. We expecting a pullback, and that pullback, we're not expecting a sell. We're just trying to go with the structure. Obviously, daily is bullish, 4 hour is bullish. We can see lower time frame was counter trending selling, but now they're changing to bullish market. When a pullback happen, this is the right time for you to look for some trades and just take them. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. This is something like you deserve like a flowers.
Yeah, man. We've been locked in, Thomas, bro.
Bro, this is so cool, bro.
We've been locked in, bro. Wallah, we've been locked in.
Done.
We've been fucking locked in, bro. And this is it, man. We said we wanna learn the skill. We learned the skill. Now we're learning about ourselves more, bro. We just gotta try and apply this information there and just make them habit, bro. Swear to God, like try to stick with it. Over time, we'll see results like crazy, bro.
Innit?
Like this is getting better. So for that, I might just leave this on the 1 hour time frame like this one here, knowing all my intention on this other time frame. I'm bullish on EURUSD, so I just maybe use this site for my 15-minute time frame and just try to look for trade to take. So seeing this break of structure here, I'm gonna see it something like this. I can change this to the same color. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna take a little bit of this down. We love our charts clean. Yeah, sure. Obviously now this week here is representing this on the 15-minute time frame. So all I need to see is a close above that area, and we can clearly see that a candle is closing above there. Clear break of structure. Price was making higher high, higher lows, higher highs. This is not a structure, but overall we still push and take out this. So from here to here. So we make a low, We wanted to pull back to key areas and look for trades and just take with the fucking flow. That is it literally on USD.
Yeah.
So this week, that is what we're gonna say, and we've been waiting for this. Again, we're dealing with these psychological levels on USD because price is really trading around this level so far, and since this bullish trend started, bro. The real example can be seen on this time frame here. So, because if you can see here, I can break this down to two as well. The core psychological level. What's going on? That is crazy. We're gonna make the black color, make it two lines. Because yeah, this went way back, but when we break 1.12500, because from here to here basically, but the gap from here to here will be this. So this is the middle psychological level. So you're dividing it to 500 pips. Let's see. 250 pips, 250 pips. So from here to here is 250 pips. But we seen Euro USD running from this psychological level all the way to the next psychological level. When we break it here, we trade back above here, but basically we're just gonna focus this. When price is above this here, it just run to the next psychological level, which is this. So now that we break in here, if you can see the same thing here, we break it, and retest it, and then run into the next psychological level. So it did 250 pips run. So from here to here, that is sick. When was it? May 29, got the Thursday, June 12th. That is crazy. So 200 pips there. So now we're using the same logic, because if we break in this psychological level and price is aligning with market structure, everything is telling you is bullish. We're expecting the same thing. Maybe price can do run from here to another here. So that is another psychological level. If this breaks, then we can go for the next target.
We are day traders, bro.
The traders, bro. Swear to God. Yeah, so for that, we're gonna see USD. This the second trade we took last week. So for this week, we are gonna pay attention to market. Obviously, we can already confirm to ourselves. We already clearly now you can see where the move started. You can literally see. So I took this whole candle, this whole week candle, last 15-minute order block we have here. Could take this, but price already retested. So I can take even this whole thing, but I'll focus on the candle right there. I'll take it to the next week. So I just get the whole thing. So for that, we're gonna have to see Euro USD here. So this trade, I think we might set buy limit, because if we're going to be not trade London, we're not gonna be awake for sure. So Euro USD, we can now expect maybe we can set some buy limit here. Nothing. And give our stop loss maybe about 32 pips something here. We can even put it below the psychological level to end, but just to be safe in it, we can just put it somewhere around there. But and then maybe we can ride this all the way back into this area. 1 to 3 will give us our full TP. But again, yeah, that will be giving us our full TP. 1 to 3. That should be a nice trade. So that is what we're gonna do. So for this trade, for now though, we are gonna leave it because we're on the charts anyway. So I'm just gonna say an alert. So this is our first trade idea on USD. So we're expecting this price to continue going higher. So every day by day we can come in this chart because I'm telling you once we start to get into the flow with the trend,
Yeah.
you will see how we take in the trades.
Taking a
It's,
trade.
it's gonna be interesting, bro.
Interesting, bro. I love it, bro.
Because if where USD start to go from here now, you'll see the price action is getting clear and clear and clear and clear. So we can now look into logical area. For sure, this will be the first TP. LASD is therefore going here. This move once it started is for sure going back up there. But for that, we can see where we can then even look for areas like this for the next targets. If there, yeah, man. For by far, this again. Remember what we were trading. 15 to 20. That is the logic here. 15 to 20. If the trend keep continuing on USD, let's see if the dollar gave a weekend more. But yeah, so we stay for this. We're happy for this on USD for sure, man. If price then do this, it then do something else again. We with the structure. But for now, we staying on 1 hour time frame on this pair. I'll go duplicate it. And that bit. Mhm. Feeling any side. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, man. But again, this area is not there for a random area. The only put reason I put there because I'm seeing price action. The price then start to trade back above and pull back here. It can align with our trading time. It all depends on the 15-minute structure. And again, maybe that will be the market structure anyways because it's starting to make higher high. So we can expect price to make use it as higher low area and continue going high. But yeah, man, there's so much idea behind this areas they trade. We just need to stick with this shit and just enjoy that show. Yeah.
Loving this right now. Doing. Wow. Yeah.
Now, so for this, we're going on US 30, US 30. With this pair, I'm just gonna start with this time frame. let's just pay attention to US 30. Really needs to pay attention. We really need to do. That is all it does. US 30, that is all it asks you. Just pay attention to this. Obviously, the monthly level.
That's USD.
This is US 30.
Oh, yesterday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
So I just need to share this screen now. Yeah. Overall, we know a monthly time frame US 30 is showing some bullish sign here though. Some crazy. This is crazy.
Look at Bitcoin so we can make
This week is crazy. This week is nasty. But again, the way it closed though, see this level starting to align these three levels here. We're having some nice bullish engulfing candle. So we can this month is gonna be bullish. This month is looking fucking bullish on US 30. I don't care. We can go back up here. Yeah, US 30 drop off again. January, February, March, April. Yeah.
I think it's just for us, you know. Want us
Style shit. Nah, US 30 is looking clean, on the monthly time frame. I can't lie, cause these prices are only going higher. These prices are only going higher. Once you, once you actually start to pay attention to the market, you just start to be so good with your analysis, man. I swear to God.
so market gonna sing in and
Yeah. You can either click on this and do this, or you can do control, no, sorry, ALT and I. and I, yeah. But Windows, MacBooks is Command and I. But yeah, US30 still, the month we still trading below this level so far. But again, like the way this price is going, the monthly candle is looking bullish on US30. This candle is just kind of having some pullback, but I'm expecting this. There might be more volume coming this within the coming days. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. This.
So US30 on the weekly time frame though, price again, just need to pay attention. Just need to try and pay attention as much as you can. Just pay attention. Pay attention. Obviously, we can see this. We just bullish barely. Price is just kinda here, but this past 3 weeks we can see some bullish market, but this week kinda pulling back. The fact that it's trading below the monthly level, the key level for me here is this line here. If price starting to hold this further on the lower time frame, we might expect more pullback on US30. But if the weekly is starting to push back above here and then starting to trade above this area based on whatever structure we'll see on the lower time frame, I think US30 is having some nice, this is what making to go bullish. Yeah. So because here to here, maybe pullback, we can now expect some bullish. But on the weekly, it's not looking too clean to be honest. But the daily time frame though, US30 is fucking nasty. We were making series of lower lows. Instead, now we switch make a lower high. We then start to switch making higher low. This, uh, this not the high. So this is the higher high. This is the higher low. Price did wick above this price a bit, but it didn't break below it. But if we are in this structure, we are gonna expect a higher high anyways from for this high. So even when now price is pulling back into this daily structure here, we can expect some nice continuation on US30.
Who said, bro? When we get out in the market Monday, Friday,
Mm-hmm.
all this happened after.
Yeah, this drop happened after this drop happened end of the day, it just continue dropping. Because this one daily time frame on the lower time frame, there's just been further drop. That is why I close like this. That boy see like this, that is literally like a pullback. Pullback.
Yeah, makes sense.
You
It
know what I
made
mean?
that gap.
Yeah. So price just come into these areas here, key area. Can now starting to hold there. That is
So why always he does that? He just take why he's taking the
liquidity.
quid.
Yeah. On the lower time frame, we can see there will be something like this. There's literally like a gap from here. You can just see. So when we start here, we just drop nastily. But again, just pay attention to structure.
Structure.
Just pay attention to structure. This to this now. So we're expecting some higher low and then continue going. If this price, look at this, is doing some dumb shit. But if we just trade this and this candle now starting to close above this previous month mid level here, and the next daily candle do and come and do something like this following after that, we can just expect that US30 is just forming something low here and it can just continue going higher from this area going forward and just go until we take out this high. That is the flow I'm seeing on US30. Yeah. So that is kind of my thought process around here. So now again, tell me what you can see, what you seen here. What do we do? Price just come and
Price
retest
just
42,000.
2000.
We break 42,500. Price is rejecting from that 43,000. So when we break here, we just run into fucking 43,000 and then price just pull back. When we pull in back, if we're gonna respect 42,000 again,
Okay.
clear target, US30 is going to 43,000 and Takan Penong and is gonna break and try pushing to 43,500. US30 always do this psychological level. If we can stay, pay attention and just try to combine all these things together, probably we'll be doing good. We'll start to like believe in our analysis more because this is literally all we need.
Yeah. Oh, now I'm believing this. Wow, this is the one.
So that is another thought on daily time frame on US30 is that price is retesting this. Yes, it was aggressive sell down, but I'm not too attached to these sales because obviously if I'm trading with a structure, I do expect some aggressive pullbacks like this. So in the same sense, you can see what is this? Like I was saying, so when price is in a bullish market, you do expect aggressive pullback. When price is in a bullish market, you do expect aggressive pullback. But the next buy can be aggressive as well. So that is why we're starting to see all this. When price is pull in aggressive market, we do expect aggressive pullback. So this pullback is not something that you should be too attached to it, but instead just know that there's something that you expect anyways. If we're bullish, we need to pull back, make a higher low and continue. So
That's understandable.
I'm just let's see. So daily time frame, we're making potentially looking for US30 to make a higher low. So we can then go deeper and go lower time frame. So 4 hour again, we can see structure. Pay attention to structure, bro. Just pay attention to structure. Like take a second and just look at the market and just think with your brain. Because if price was counter trending, making lower lows and lower highs, making lower lows. I'm taking you again, just stay with me. I'm making higher highs, making higher lows. Price only starting to make a higher high now. This was a break, but everything here you can now use it as just continuation because since we take out this high, these pullbacks are not really too much. So I'm just gonna take this as higher high. So we're in this structure overall. If you pay attention, price is making low. Now we create a new high, higher low. We create a new higher high. Where did we come back down to? The previous high, which is here, or you can choose whatever in this area, this high here. And another thing is that we're reacting the 200 EMA on this time frame. Last time price reacted into a weapon, it just gone above it aggressively. So now that we expect respecting it again, we can expect a bullish in this market. Overall, the structure is bullish. This is just another confluence to add into it and be like
Yeah,
we're
touching
retesting.
MA is
Yeah.
very.
See, structure is serving us. We know now daily time frame pull back already. We're looking expecting bullishness on US30. 4 hour time frame pull back already. Price is moving mad, holding this 42,000. Now we can see if this can now start to close above this area. That will give us that US30 there is very high chance we can now start to trade all the way back up here and even go and make a new higher high because that is the market structure we're aiming for. So for that that is on the 4 hour time frame, bullish again. On the 1 hour time frame, same thing. We just now need to be more cautious because 1 hour we can now see obviously this lower time frame. All we gotta be paying attention is switch of the market structure on this time frame because if the higher time frames are just pulling back, now we're expecting continuation. This lower time frame need to change the market direction so those move can be validated on the higher time frame. So if we're making this and this, we make a double top here, so lower low. If this is going to be a lower high, obviously overall on the lower time frame we're bearish. Bro, wake up, bro. Wake up.
I'm not sleeping.
But overall, on the lower time frame, we're bearish. So obviously, if we're in this leg, when US30 gets here, we are gonna say, oh, we're expecting it to hold and sell. But again, the higher time frames are more important for me in this case. So the 1 hour time frame now here, we're just gonna see if price can now start to show us any sign of change of character, or when we close above here, if price makes some new form of lower high here and pull back, refusing to make a new low here, any sign that trend is changing, we're basically interested.
Yeah,
That is why we're interested more than trying to look for a sell from here.
I like this, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is that. This area is just there to, like, know this is the structure we're in, but overall we're aiming for this structure that is
I
starting
like
to
the
build.
way you expecting the markets to do that.
Yeah.
It's like it's thoughtful, bro.
Stufful. Well, you just, again, it just all come down to, like, you just doing what you gotta do and pay attention to that thing. But that is the US30 on the 15-minute time frame. Again, we now not trying to trade none of these areas anymore. Let me just get rid of this. We took our trade, so that is done. We're gonna need to start to see if we can add some structure into this. Uh,
This trade was nice.
so now we're expecting the same thing. These continuations on the higher time frame that we are aiming for US30 to go higher prices, we're looking for the same ideas in these logics here though. So we need something that we can actually see can continue going higher, because overall, again, we're going for this structure here. Now this looks like it's the most key area we can say to look for this, but price can drop further again, because if we having these double lows here, price can just be aggressive on this, and that is why we're only going to starting to look for buys when we see some nice change of structure. So now, if we making this as lower high, obviously this will be the lower low now. It's just choppy, but price just got down. So with that, this is not lower low anymore for me. I wanna see something. So if price now maybe doing this pullback here, and then it make some form of lower high, it needs to make some lower high, pull back. Either we continue going and take out this low, or I'll pay attention to the first high we're going to be making. If price is gonna trade above it, then I'll start to make my decisions from there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you giving your time to
yeah.
yeah.
So for that, that is why. But for with that being said, US30, obviously we still have this area here. We are expecting some reaction from here, or again, price, if it just continue going, take out this high, even better, because the higher time frame is not that volume here. So if 15 minutes start to trade it and go and take out this high, even better, because we can now stay, we change the direction with this here. We make a new high. We can either expect pullback above it or some form of pullback. But US30 for now, I think it just requires patience and just know our idea overall. We're aiming for some bullish market. So just put something there like this for now, and just know what our thought is at. But that is that for US30. So this week we're gonna see from 2 p.m. every day and going forward to see how much opportunity we can catch from this market this week. But overall, like, the goal is not to take the trade. The goal is to follow our plans,
Our
bro.
plans.
That is literally it.
That's literally, bro.
That is literally it. So if we can just get to stick and just follow this process and just know that we just need to patience sometimes and just repeat the same day. By end of the week, if there is opportunity, we're there, because we're fully locked in this market right now.
Yeah,
But you know,
as you can see
keep
now.
updating ourselves here, man. Just get it. Plans
Yeah,
first. Back to ICL method. Week 2, 16 June. Let's see what we do by end of the week. Um, yeah, man. This week is really disciplined, bro.
active
Let's stay disciplined.
discipline, bro. Bro,
Mm-hmm.
you point to so much key areas, bro. Even here,
Yeah, man. That
like
shit.
waiting for this, bro. This can we can con this like guy swing it like
Mm-hmm.
higher higher.
Yeah.
And the other law is here. He
It's
just
here.
like this, so you
So
ready.
yeah,
So he's gonna break all this.
the
Like,
buy.
bro,
Yeah.
it's so crazy. It's like the more you explain it, bro, now it's like just sticking it there.
Well,
That's why this place.
once you start to see it, you the buy again. Look how our trading changed, though. Yeah, our trading changed completely, bro. We're so disciplined, bro. Like we're actually disciplined. We only take these trades in the week, nothing more. And we move on so easy, like literally. It was just not the right trade. We just bounce. Like we need money, man. So we just got lock in and just know what's working for you and just follow that. If you fail, fucked up once, don't fucked up two times. Just remember and get back to the plan as quick as you can. They are what is driving you, man, not your emotions. They just want the instant gratification. We want money with discipline and consistency.
Money. Every human being need the money. Get out in your feeling.
So for that, let's check what's on DXY. DXY, we wanna see bearish for the week though. We wanna see bearish. So let's check this again. DXY is the same thing. That is why I'm bullish as fuck on the euro, bro.
What
DXY, the dollar just been dropping from level, but if you wanna know more why these levels are there, is basically from here. Price reacted here. When we get here, was expecting the same thing. So that is why you're starting to see the structure on the daily time frame on the DXY starting to change. Coming bearish, coming bearish, coming bearish, coming bearish, coming bearish. So we can expect little pullbacks and just continue going here. But I have this level on the dollar since last year, bro. But yeah, the dollar obviously we was ranging in this trend here from this 2023 lows and 2023 highs. We were just in that range when September 2024 price bounced from there in October. That is when we break it and make a new high above the 2023 high. We retest the 2023 high, create a new higher high for 2025. That happened in January. So the retest that happened back above the 2023 high here, price did break back down that low and it's coming retesting from the July 2022 high. That is the high. That is when the high of this area was made. So price then come back close below that trend line, which is the high. I just use the trend line, but again, it just depends what's your reasoning behind this trend line. When we break back below this 2023 high here, that is why price dropped all the way back to the low, the 2023 low. That is why we have now break that low again, this 2023 low, and 2024 make another low here. 2025 now we just make a new low below the 2023 low. So now we make pullback and retest again, retest in this area, the 2023 high. We make a new lows. So it's like since 2023 July, the dollar never traded below this level.
Yeah.
So just recent in 2025, we're starting to see it trading below here. And for that, we might expect the dollar to drop all the way back to 2021 May, um, when we make this high here before we have this aggressive fucking buy on the dollar. So you see like price is just pulling back within this leg.
Yes.
So we just basically pull back We was aiming to go higher, but it looks like the dollar just changed the trend completely now, back into bearish market. So we can either expect price to come all the way back down here, or at least here. But for now, the dollar is weak.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is literally how we see in the dollar. Yeah, we've been checking the dollar though. I feel like dollar it just give me more confidence on this USD move. But yeah, man. So for this week, seeing dollar on this daily structure is so messy. You can't even read the candles. So I'll just go to 4 hour 4 hour time frame. That is the some week figure not too long ago. I predicted this on the dollar. And obviously we're here now. So with that being said, again we're just gonna go with the structure on the dollar. So seeing price, obviously we was aiming to make a new lower here. This is the previous lower high. Here we make a lower high. Now we're making a new lower low. We're retesting this daily area that we took. Price is now looking like it's making new lower high again. So we're expecting the dollar to continue dropping down from this area. Or worst case scenario, we can only pull back. We just with the structure. So dollar can just decide to come all the way here, but overall with the bearish market on the DXY. So that's what I'm expecting on dollar. So as long as this market is bearish, areas this will be buying.
Bye. And
Yeah. So with that, we have some further decline expecting on dollar, at least dropping back to 95,000 again, another psychological level. Because if we're coming from 100. So if the dollar is coming from 100, the next stop for that would be 95,000 for me. Yeah. So if we this divide from here to here, that is like five yeah, about 500 pips or 5,000 pips is the dollar, but something like that. So we just divide this number. This is the next psychological level. Basically, we're seeing the dollar coming from, to be honest, because 95 to 100. So from that to 90. So it's like you just this. I'm just using the same psychological level. So for this, the mid level here will be 97 500. That is the next psychological level. Yeah, yeah. So dollar is now here. You see how we're reacting from this area to here, to here, to here. So if we break in this, now price can do one thing. Can either hold above this area, we can either come and retest all the way somewhere around this level and continue dropping further. Or price can do whatever it wanted to do here. Once we start into trade below this area, we do expect it, the dollar to continue for sure. It's gonna come down here. That will be another 250 pips. But yeah, that is the idea on DXY. Now the psychological level just make it better. It's 123. Yeah, man. But that's the plan for the week. So with that, just gonna have to leave it here. Come back, maybe sometimes this week to see where we are on the chat. But another week to stay disciplined, man. For real, man.